Hello, I wanted to make this video to update everyone on what I've been going through and working through and just kind of clear the air of some things. I want to start by saying that I'm not forcing anyone to accept my views as the truth, as the total truth. This is just what I believe to be true in my heart, and anything you don't agree with, you can just let go and you don't have to take on. I've been working through healing my inner child wounds and working with my inner child. I have had a lot of conditioning in this life of what I should be and what I shouldn't be, and I've had a fear of being judged by others. I've had a lot of shame because of this judgment that I've received, and I'm not blaming anyone for anything or saying you did anything in particular, because everything that I've gone through has been for a reason and to make me the person I am today so that I can overcome all of these things. I'm just letting you know that this is how I feel. These things have all prevented me from being my authentic self and really saying what I truly feel and what I truly think, just because I was worried that if I say how I really feel or what I really think, I'll be judged and shamed and repeat things that I didn't want to repeat, because you're afraid to do that, because who wants to experience that again, you know? I've also been exploring my sexuality. I'm coming out as queer. I actually got this tattoo with the fleur-de-lis with these specific colors before I knew that what being pansexual even was. So I know that my higher self and my intuition picked this because, I designed this tattoo, so then about a few months later, I found out what pansexual is, which is, for those of you who don't know, you love everyone regardless of their gender. So that includes non-binary, trans people, men, women. But I'm more on the queer side. I'm stepping away from cis men, because I don't think I've ever really wanted to be with a man. Truly, it's just what I thought was normal and what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to find someone to get married and do all those things, but that's not really what my soul wants. So I'm coming out as queer, pansexual. I'm also gender fluid, which basically means my gender kind of changes all the time. Sometimes I feel like a boy, sometimes I feel like a girl, sometimes I feel like I have no gender or non-binary. So it kind of changes by day, and I'm working to be more comfortable with telling people that and dressing how I want to dress. I've spent a lot of time trying to be girly and trying to portray myself as something that I'm not. I got my hair cut and I feel so much better with my short hair. My curls are back, which is amazing, because I had that horrible long stringy hair before when I was getting married, and it was so thin. I was going bald. It was insane. So I know that that's not who I'm supposed to be. I spent a lot of my time shaving my legs, and I would just get rashes on my legs and scratch. So I stopped shaving my legs. I don't shave my armpits. There's a lot of things that I've tried to do that have not worked out for me, because it's just not who I am. So I'm embracing my gender fluidness, and a lot of the times I do feel non-binary, so they, them are the pronouns I would prefer. And I'm also going by Beck now, B-E-C-K. That's my androgynous name. I don't resonate with Rebecca anymore. And Becky I can take if you say it by mistake, or I know some people sometimes call me Becca, but really I prefer Beck. I've also been working through my ADHD, figuring out what it means to be neurodivergent and how my brain actually works. Since being unemployed and helping my grandma and all these things, it's been really hard for me to start tasks, and I know that I'm also like on the spectrum of autism. I haven't been diagnosed for that, but it just makes sense for like how I was as a child and some of the difficulties I have. I'm like, you know, there's so many people who have autism that you would never think that they have it. So, you know, I used to think, oh, you look autistic. You don't. So all that's bullshit as well. But I've spent my entire life trying to appear neurotypical and act normal and be something I'm not, and I'm not. I'm neurodivergent. I'm really struggling right now with my executive dysfunction, which basically is, there's so many factors of it, but the one that I struggle with the most currently for a long time, a very long time, is trying to get out of bed. Like, especially like with having to take care of my grandma, I'm like, oh, if I get out of bed, then I have to do this and that and that, and then all those tasks that add up to like just getting out of bed makes me just want to keep sleeping. So like I'll sleep till 11 and be like, oh, and then I'm like mean to myself all day, like, why did you sleep in so late? And it's horrible. So I'm working towards that because I'm finding out all these different things about my brain and how when someone who's neurodivergent has executive dysfunction, they wake up and their brain doesn't create the dopamine that it needs, so it's hard for us to just want to do the thing. So you're like in your brain, like laying there, and you feel like paralyzed, and you're like, I just need to get up, and it's like, it's not that easy. So I am done trying to pretend like I'm neurotypical and normal. As one of my friends said, normal is just a setting on the washing machine. Like, what is normal? But I'm not normal, and we all know this. Through the ADHD, I've also spent a lot of my time masking, so being who I thought others would want me to be and not really expressing myself authentically because of my fear of being judged and being different and standing out for my uniqueness. So this has led to some like unconscious manipulation. Like, I did not realize that I was manipulating people by pretending to be something I'm not, because I was just like people pleasing and trying to appease to their needs and doing everything that I thought they would want me to do. But by not having my own sense of my boundaries, which I'm working on creating like stronger boundaries, by not creating those boundaries and, you know, telling people no, or just like being a yes woman all the time and being so empathic and always wanting to help, it's like drained my batteries. And once I start showing my true self to people, they think that I have manipulated them, which is fair because I did, but it was unconscious. Like, I didn't know that that's what I was doing. So anything that I've done in the past, I truly apologize for, because it was just me doing what I've always done and what I learned to do through my conditioning. So I'm breaking free of the masking so that I can be more authentic. And then I want to just touch on my spirituality. So I believe in God, I believe in source, I meditate, I am going through clairvoyant training, I'm psychic. Everyone's psychic, everyone could be clairvoyant if they do the work and follow. I've been working on following my intuition and knowing that I have these capabilities and it's not all floofy floof and fake, and it's all real for me. So, and you know, I have a whole community of people that I've met through this that know it's true as well. And I do readings for people, and I can see things, you know, I'm like the real life That's So Raven, and that's pretty cool. So I'm working through that and continuing to grow my skills and collecting and honing more of my tools. I'm also learning to be a healer, so using energy to shift a room, to shift a space, to shift yourself, to shift others, to help them heal and let go of things. That's how I've been able to work through so much of this trauma, is by meditating and letting go of things and releasing old patterns, thought patterns, habits, all sorts of stuff that does not serve me and my true form. Like, I am still working towards the truest form of myself. I probably always will be, because we're always changing and growing, but right now this is like where I'm at. And then with the witchcraft, like, we all know Grandma Jackie was a witch. She was closeted because she didn't feel comfortable expressing herself, and I went through a lot of that as well. I do believe that's why she called me her smart one. And I'm not saying any of this to be like, oh, I'm the smart one, or I'm not in competition with anyone. I'm not trying to prove myself or, you know, do any of the toxic things I used to do. This is just my truth, and, you know, just to be happy for me and know that I'm finding my way, and, you know, where everyone else is at too, I'm happy for you and whatever you're working on right now. Because I always wondered why we were always in competition with each other and judging each other, and it's obnoxious, and I don't care for that anymore. I'm not here to prove anything to anybody. So with witchcraft, I've used that just following my intuition. I met a witch at my last job. She was Guatemalan, and she helped me kind of get my foot in the door on it. And I just started casting candle spells, and I use it to manifest things into my life, because when you speak it out into the universe, when you write it down, when you burn it, when you have an intention set, that's how you manifest things into your world. So it's like a concrete way for me to do it, and it just makes sense, and it's something I'm very interested in. I like holistic things, like, you know, drying herbs, and, you know, making tea, and, you know, putting things in jars. And so it all works together really for me. It's all part of my identity. The reason for me that a lot of people are scared of it is because they're worried some sort of truth is going to happen or come out, or like with tarot and stuff like that. But I use it all for myself, and to just continue growing in my own life. And I never do anything that would be like malicious towards someone else. Like, I've never been that way. I've always been honest as I could at the, you know, at the consciousness I was at. And I've always been a witch. I was a witch every year for Halloween for like a decade. I'm a witch, and that's just how it is. I don't know what else to really say about that. I think, real quick, I did get this cute oracle deck, so maybe I could just like pull a card to kind of end everything here, but that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about, so that everyone could know what I've been going through and why things have been hard for me. I truly apologize for anything I've said in the past that may have seemed crazy or delusional. I was in a delusional state at one point. I really was, because I was just trying to figure out what was the truth and what was reality and what wasn't. And it really helped me, because I became closer to source, or closer to the universe. So I needed that delusion. At the end of the day, I want everyone to have love and be loved, and to feel the feelings I'm feeling, like opening up all my chakras and having everything be aligned and balancing my masculine and feminine energies. I just feel like a more whole being, and that's just really what I want for everyone. So I really do apologize if throughout this process you didn't feel comfortable around me. I usually wait for a card to flip out, but it's not really happening, so I think I'm just gonna pick one. And with this, I just like wait until I get this feeling like, oh yeah, this is the card. Okay, I got the Reaper, number 32. For the birth of something new to manifest, the death of something holding you back is inevitable. This is talking about how like everything I was saying, like letting things go that don't serve you anymore and making room for new. So that's what I've pretty much been doing for a long time, and there's so many layers to this onion. It's like Shrek was right on, spot on with that analogy. Like, there are so many layers that you have to release and let go of. And then also at the bottom of the deck, I usually go with what's at the bottom as well as part of the message. It's St. John's wort and marigold, which has been a big theme for me. marigolds. I've been experiencing a lot of things with them and the messages of what they symbolize. And then St. John's wort has also been a theme. I just bought some St. John's wort tea. It helps with like depression. This card says, against your will there will not be, no entrance, no welcoming, be gone. So I believe this has to do with the boundaries. This is number 36. So that kind of relates to everything I was just talking about as well, like creating healthy boundaries and, you know, letting go of like an identity that wasn't me and stepping fully into my authentic self. So yeah, that's a lot to say, but I just thought I would make this video because, you know, there's been a lot of things unsaid. If we're gonna continue to move in the right direction, I just want everyone to know where I'm coming from. Okay, so cool. If you have any questions for me about anything, feel free to text me. I just wanted to send everyone this update and like apologize for anything, and just know that anything that I didn't say to you, like, it was just because of how I was conditioned. Like, I don't want to be seen as the shy, uncoordinated, spazzy girl, you know? I want to be seen as Beck, the gender fluid, amazing person I am, like witch, spiritual, clairvoyant. And if any of this stuff freaks you out and you're just not into it, I completely understand, because it's not for everybody. So, you know, you can just accept that that's what I believe, and we can go from there. And I accept you for wherever you're at. So, love you guys, and I will talk to you later.